fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I be swerving through the city in and out of lanes. Yeah, cause if I see it, then I want it, then you better know I got it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And today, Ron is out. But, us ladies are going to hold it down because we have a very special guest. We are talking to Michole Brianna White, who plays Lucille on the hit series BMF. And, we are Team Lucille all day long. So the ladies are going to hold it down today. Check it out. So Michole, it's such a pleasure to speak with you. Last time, I think you were on the spot before with Tiffany and Ron, and I wasn't able to make it, but I'm so happy to be here to talk to you today.
Me too. Hey, girl.
Yeah. So thank you for taking the time out to chat with us. I'm going to let Tiffany go ahead and kick us off with the questions.
Okay. It's so lovely to speak with you again. As Tiara said, we did speak to you before, and we had our other co-hosts, Lawanda and Ron here, and they weren't able to join us today. But we had Russell on, and we talked to him about what it was like to work with you again, and he said it was like coming home.
Oh,
yeah. So it was. We had a lovely conversation with him. And we also got on him a little bit too. Because of Charles, the way Charles was treating Lucille.
Yes, girl. He just wrong. But that's my boy though. I love him so much. And I love our history together, and we're able to show up on set and really just have each other's back. Like he's just always right there. He's such a rock. And it's just fantastic.
Yeah, he defended his character a little bit too.
No, I think I may have seen some of that because I was like, "What the hell are you talking about, girl?"
Yes, we had your back though. Tiara and I had your back. We put him on the hands list as well as T.
Oh, right, that's what I saw.
Yeah, we put T on the hands list too because we had Sydney on as well, and and she said that she got a lot of advice from you and everything, and she really looked to you on the set and all that, and I really appreciate how it's like a nice blend of new and upcoming talent, and to the vets, you and Russell, because the way you two dance, you guys anchor, you and Steve Harris as well, as the vets on the show, you guys are it's like watching an acting clinic, and I just wanted to give you guys your flowers about that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, love.
Yes. I was going to say, you definitely have received a lot of high praise. So
thank you.
My question though, I wanted to know for this situation with Mabel and everything, especially with the skillet. I was rooting for the skillet, I have to tell you.
Girl.
I was rooting for the skillet. Did you get any inspiration or input from Miss Lucille about, this delicate situation and everything, on how to play her and approach this situation with the Charles and Mabel?
You know what? I didn't really talk to her in detail about Mabel in particular. I mean, I've talked to her throughout the season, as things are airing now, and just tried to check in, like, how are you doing with this? How are you feeling? But I wanted to be respectful too. But I know when I read what was happening, I mean, I just felt like instinctually that, the answers were all right there. So I was tuning in, and all I wanted to do was to just, I just wanted her voice to be heard and to shout to the mountaintops for for Mabel to get up out my face. And, I was so excited when I got this episode, because we didn't get to see all the episodes at once this season, and so it was really challenging during the season, just having to walk in these shoes and feel like, dang, he getting to do all of this stuff every week. And I'm like, and I've been acting all like this. I was so mad. Oh my God. I was just so through. Like, and so when I saw this episode, I was so thankful. I was like, oh, I'm going to let her have it.
And you did.
I was just so excited that I finally had something to say, and I got to be in response to all of this craziness that was happening. And I wanted to represent her in the best way possible.
You did.
Yes, you did that. You knocked it out the park in that scene with Mabel. I mean, I felt it. I was like, oh my God, this is intense. And, I just was like rooting for the skillet as well, Tiffany. I gotta say I'm with you on that one. But you did such a great job, displaying those emotions. And especially, episode 9 really did it for me when you kind of realized that matchstick packet came from the same hotel and the emotion in your face. So outstanding, all the way around. And I just wanted to ask you, with all this going on, is there any chance of reconciliation with Charles? Because we know that you both, had a role to play in the breakdown of the relationship. But I know that Michole didn't take it as far. Sorry, not Michole. Lucille didn't take it as far as Charles has. So is there any chance that things could be reconciled?
I mean, we have to live our way into the answers for that. Mm-hmm. So, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, Lucille loves him like crazy, but now she loves herself too. Mm-hmm. So, we just have to see how that goes, but it won't be like it was.
Right. And I was going to ask you about that too, because we've seen a lot of growth with Lucille from season 1 to season 2. So how do you feel about that evolution of Lucille?
I'm really excited about it. Now the journey there, like I was saying, wasn't as exciting to do last season as it has been received. I'm amazed by the reception to it, and even my own, like when I watch it, some of the things I felt like creatively frustrated sometimes, because I was like, why? And just being in this situation, it was just challenging to walk in those shoes. And so it was just like, oh man, like again, the man is getting to do all these things and she just sitting back, just being all like this. And so that was like, oh, I was just through with all that. And it was interesting because the first season, I felt like we had more meat and stuff, like, but we were more anchored, and I was definitely more subdued kind of and all of that. And but it's so much more exciting this season than I realized in the moment when we were shooting these things, because we also shot, everything wasn't in order. We shot all of it, be like, oh, you shooting this from the last episode today, or now we're shooting, just all over the place. So seeing everything come together was like, oh, dang, I forgot about that. Oh, wait a minute. The first episode, I was like, I didn't even realize I was in the first episode that much. I thought I had, a scene or just a couple lines or whatever, but it was, this whole storyline has made a really great impact. And it's exciting to watch, actually. And it's exciting to watch, like, at the evolution of everybody's character, because everybody's character is so layered this season. And I mean, so, and I enjoy watching it every week with you guys, and going, because there are scenes that I'm not in, that I didn't get to see them shot. We do the table read and stuff, and I do my own work on, but it's so different how everything comes together. So when I watch it, I'm on the edge of my seat too, with all of it, like B Mickey's storyline. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just like heart-wrenching, like what he has to go through, and and he is just really between a rock and a hard place. And then Lamar's character this season is just like, whoa, just way out of control.
Yeah, he is a true nutcase.
Right. Listen. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like last season, I was like, oh my God, I wish I could be Lamar. I just want to play him. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm like, you can keep the colostomy bag all for yourself.
But you know what? God showed up and showed out at the door when you were praying with Lamar, because he saved you from Lamar, and then God showed up again and saved Mabel from the skillet.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's interesting, that scene with Lamar, because I feel like, her faith was everything in that moment. She was just drawing at straws to, what do I do in this moment? And I felt like her faith saved herself, and yet I feel like her faith saved him in that moment too. That there was this really deep connection in this moment that we had, where he needed me as much as I needed him and God in that moment. I thought it was really, we had a really interesting moment just between us. It was really quite special. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You reached him. You definitely reached him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead, T.
No, go ahead, T.
Well, I was going to ask about Meech, because his actions this season in regards to the affair kind of shocked me, because we know he loves Lucille so much and he wants to protect her, but it shocked me that he didn't come to you with the information about the affair. So do you think it would have been received any differently by Lucille if she had heard it from Meech rather than finding it out on her own?
I mean, however you hear that kind of information, is just going to be painful and wrong. So, I mean, and it's hard to hear it outside from anybody, because you want to know that person you're dealing with would just come, that you can just have a private conversation with them, but that now it's all out in the street like this. Right. And I do feel like there was some sense of, I felt betrayed by my son for not wanting to protect me, and like, how could you allow this to happen to your mom and be okay with it? So that stung a little bit, but had he told me, I mean, it would still be a weird thing to hear from your son, that your dad, your husband is cheating on you, and that he saw him in a strip club. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you, it's just not gonna be fun, no matter how you slice that, when it's just gonna be just wrong and bad. Yeah.
He said he was trying to protect you, and we debated on our show about that, because we were like, okay, he tried to protect you in other ways, like he tried to love on you, he bought you the outfit for the skating ring and stuff, so he was trying to love on you that way. Whereas Terry, we debated this, we were like, Terry would have stepped to Charles. I think he probably would have approached him if he had seen him cheating and said, what are you doing, on mom or whatever. He seems to be more vocal and confrontational that way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either way if he would have. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to ask that question myself, because I'm like, I mean, I think they both want to protect me, but at the end of the day, they're still their father's sons, right?
Oh yeah, that apple ain't fall too far from the tree with Terry.
That's true. Exactly. That's true.
It's like, and the fact that Michi is like, he doesn't fight his dad on it. He's like, seems like he's glad about it. Like he's cool about it. He doesn't seem mad about it. He just seemed like, I'm not gonna say nothing, because he already had the beef with his dad anyway. But his point of view on that was just interesting. But I did appreciate him still wanting to, encouraging me to have my own life and do my own, So.
Yeah. And I thought the whole situation with Pastor Swift was something else too, because he was pushing up on you. So I was wondering, what's it like working with Snoop Dogg in that capacity? Because I know he is, a character on and off screen. He has to be so much fun to work with.
He's so much fun, such a sweet guy, and so humble. And I love about him that he really shows up to do the work. He's really not just wanting to show up and be like, oh yeah, I'm Snoop Dogg, and so I get to, run that things and just be all over the place or whatever and do what I want to do. He comes and I sense from him that he wants to be respected for the work, and he really goes in and he wants to do his best. I appreciate that so much. And he's just a ball. Like that scene at the restaurant, I was like, okay, don't laugh, Michole, don't laugh. Like, and then I wish I could remember the original line, because I think they had to change it, but it was some funny stuff happening up in there. I wish they could do some bloopers on that moment, because it was just too funny. But he had a ball, and we had a good time, a really good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I was gonna say I in particular have been fussing with the brothers in our comments about the Lucille and Charles situation. Girl. Some of the brothers were like, well, it's Lucille's fault because she wasn't being intimate and things. And I was trying to explain to the brothers, I'm like, listen, if you're not taking care of home, that does affect how a woman views the man and things. And I had that discussion with Russell too, when he was on, because they were like, and I said to Russell, because Russell was saying that that Lucille's character was nagging him, and then he was like, and if he hasn't been touched and things like that. And I said, but wait a minute. I said, she brought the note down and she tried to be desirable to you. And then you want to talk about the bill, Nicole's bill. I said, couldn't that have been talked about the next day? And I said, it wasn't like she didn't try. And he said, at that point it was too far gone or something like that. And so
girl, don't get me started. I know I heard him talking about she's so naggy. I'm like, what's she nagging about? Oh,
no. And the thing is, Lucille said he had not made repairs in the home, but he was at the neighbor's house and neighbor's house making repairs. And I was like, how do you do that and not take care of your own home? And I just said, fellas, in our comments, I said that does affect how women view you as the head of the household. So so we've been having internet battles behind Lucille and Charles.
Right, man, because he to me, like, also he's like doing the car service thing, and he's trying to take over because it's really his dream to have that, and he's all, and the money's not all, they still trying to get the money together, but now he gets to play and live his dream out or whatever while I'm working at Wendy's. And you know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm working at Wendy's, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and he mad that I can't get it up. I'm not trying to get it up this night because I'm exhausted. Like,
exhausted. Right.
Yeah, like, can I have a break for a minute? Like, but I will say at the end of the day, it does on some level take two to tango. I do think that they both have some responsibility in what's happening in their relationship, although he went too far. It's like, how about we try to communicate or get a free counselor somewhere or something. But he just went. But I don't even know that those things were as available as they are to us today. It's like the period and stuff too, and more things were acceptable for men and stuff at that time than they would be today, for sure. And women were more submissive at that time, and it was harder to fight for yourself to stand up, and as a Christian woman and all of those things, it was like, it's supposed to kind of be like this. And they were really trying to live that life and walk that walk. And she was especially trying to do that thing. But at the end of the day, what she has learned is to love and honor herself, and learning how valuable she is to herself first and foremost. And your outside can change when your inside changes, and you can see for yourself. You show up for you first, and then everybody else goes, dang, I got to show up for that. I got to be what she's putting out there, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I am very proud of Lucille's evolution. I look forward to watching every week, and you always crush it. So I'm just like so impressed with all of your work. And I'm hoping that, you know, in this finale, you know, I'm hoping to see what happens, if we get any closure on the situation, or if they're going to leave us hanging into season 3.
Right. I'm looking forward to watching and finding out too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I admire all of your work, and I was so happy to see you on Atlanta this season too.
Yes,
that was such a joy to see you. I was like, gee, you know, your range is so amazing, and that's one thing that I admire when I see you on screen in particular, and also when you're doing your dance with Russell. I mean, you can see the chemistry. You can see that you guys come from theater. You can see that your acting chops are just phenomenal, both of you. And I'm just honored to speak to you today.
I'm honored to speak to you guys. It made me so happy. I just feel your energy, and your light is just beaming at me. Y'all make me feel so good.
Well, yours is beaming back at us.
Absolutely. Yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. We definitely appreciate it. And we are Team Lucille all day long.
Team Lucille. And I told Russell that Charles is on our Hall of Fame who can get the hands list for the way he treated Lucille. So he is. We said we love Russell and we will always support Russell. But Charles is on our who can get the hands list.
He go get them hands. Right.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Well, it has been awesome, Michole. Thank you again, and you're welcome back anytime you wish.
I would love to. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
Have a good day, ladies.
I don't want just anybody. Can you treat me like somebody? I don't want just anybody. I don't want just anybody.